trick them into behaving. As opposed to castigating them. And then they go, you know what? Screw you.
Yeah.
Guess who doesn't have sound for the next take?
Tell me about your parents.
Oh boy, this is a convoluted one. All right.
I know nothing. I usually say who was your favorite parent, but I don't know anything about you.
I have
in the fun way.
I have so many. Here's the problem: is I have a lot of parents because I was adopted.
Oh, really?
And then about 18 years ago, I found my biological mother. So I've had a relationship with her for 18 years. I've been married for 17 years, and then of course I got married. So I have a mother-in-law. So I have an adoptive mother. I have a biological mother, an adoptive mother, an adoptive stepmother, and a mother-in-law. I've got 4 mothers.
That's too many mothers.
And so what happened was...
That's too many mothers.
It's too many moms. It's a lot of moms. And I'm not really responsible for my mother-in-law, but I adore my mother-in-law.
Sure.
And so what happens is you find...
Mother-in-law is like as someone who's had a mother-in-law, and my girlfriend has a mother, I feel like you cheat. You don't get them the whole time.
No.
You pick up mid-40s, 50s, and you're just kind of like, she's kooky. Like, it's easier to accept her as they are.
Because they're set in their ways. There's no hope of them changing.
And you don't remember them as what they were. She used to be so much nicer to waiters.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right.
She's crazy. So you can just kind of accept them.
My mother-in-law is like a Swedish little gracious, like she's like a cute little white Jesus. My mother, she's lovely to everybody. Asks them how they're doing.
So Jesus.
She says she's Jesus, but a cute
you don't
little
have
white.
you don't have to say white Jesus.
Episcopalian Jesus.
Just regular Jesus.
No, but let's not. Okay, no, Pete, let's not.
They're all Episcopal and they're all white.
No, okay, all right.
If you have a Jesus,
we're going to discuss this after the podcast.
He is an Episcopal and he's a white man.
Oh boy,
that is sometimes a woman. Woo!
So she's wonderful. But my parents adopted me, and then they had my brother. My adoptive parents they adopted me, but then had him,
a baby,
had a baby, and that's my brother. They got divorced. My dad remarried, so now I have a mom and a stepmom.
I wonder if the divorce rate is lower for people because
who adopt children.
Who adopt children because you're kind of like,
good question.
That's just such a wonderful and they're loving and good, and you're kind of like, I wonder if they're just kind of. They seem like
we should stick together. Like we made this choice.
It's a positive stereotype, but I'm like, this seems like they're going to be in it.
That's good. I should check that out. And then my father, my biological father, I never met him. He died in 1989. Never met him because when he got together with my mom, he was married and had 2 kids. So I'm the product of an affair. And so he kind of was living his life and doing his thing. And then I found out my sister, my mom, my biological, so I've switched over now to my biological mother, okay?
Yes.
She had an affair with my dad, got pregnant, had me. Then
she wasn't married.
She was not married at the time. No.
Like scandalous.
I don't care.
Was your mom a floozy?
No, she wasn't. It's funny. My mom wasn't a floozy. Yeah. I'm a big proponent about this kind of stuff. Like my grandmother just did not pay enough attention to my mom.
Yeah.
And my mom had a classmate who said to my grandmother one time. She said to my mom was freaking out that this young 17-year-old or 18-year-old would say this to an adult.
Yeah.
And she said, Mrs. Cutson, if you don't, and I can say all this because my grandparents have passed away.
Yeah.
She goes, if you keep this iron fist over Carrie, like if you keep treating your daughter this way, she's going to do something one day. She will do something that you're going to regret.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what my mom did.
Because she was real strict.
Super strict. And just like, you don't look grown people, you don't look children in the face in their formative years and look at them and say, I just don't understand.
There was a lot of that.
You know what I mean? And it was a lot, and my mom was just like, I don't know, I have no guidance in life, you know? And she met my dad. She goes, your father was the first person who ever found me clever or laughed at me. And then, and this is a long time ago, like a 20-year-old in 1971 in a conservative, strict family like my family may as well be a 12-year-old today. Do you know what I mean? And so that's
really
interesting. You know what I mean? That was my mom.
Time travel math.
Yeah, exactly. It's time travel math.
With Key Mikey.
Key Mikey. They call me Key Mikey. And so my dad was lovely to her, and they had a wonderful relationship. I mean, they didn't. I mean, it was clandestine, but then she got pregnant, and my grandmother was like,
clandestine.
They can't. Yeah.
You are clever. That's a great word.
I like that word.
It sounds like psychic, but it means espionage.
Right? The clandestine services. My mother was not a member of the clandestine services, by the way. But anyway, my dad died.
Is clandestine the C in CIA? It isn't.
No, Central.
So is the D in my name for dumb?
No, it's not.
Come on, everybody makes mistakes. Sing it. Everybody makes mistakes.
Wait a minute.
Oh, keep going.
The D in your name.
There's no D in my name.
Where is the D in your name? Your middle name's Dave. I was there was a Dave. His middle name was David.
No, well,
which would be two D's.
There is a D in my middle name.
What is it?
Benedict.
Oh, your middle name is Benedict.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Well, it's a grown-up middle
You could have gone. You could go with
Benedict Holmes.
Welcome, P. Benedict Holmes.
Hi, I'm P. Benedict Holmes.
Hi, I'm P.
Welcome
Benedict
to
Holmes.
Secrets of Nebulas. I put my hand in a wormhole yesterday, and here's what happened.
Here's what happened. Yeah, I have a hand and a small goat head. Now that's what I have. My mom. So my dad passed away in '89.
Yes.
And then the man who raised me, he died in '94. And so my adoptive father.
So she had 4 or 5 years with you before she married this guy or whatever.
No. Yeah, my mom gave me up for adoption. And then got married to a guy.
I see.
My biological mother gave birth to me, then married a guy, and had 4 more kids. And so I'm the oldest, and then there's a sister right under me, and she was doing some genealogy stuff, and so she found out about my biological father. You know, so we never got to see pictures of him or anything like that. So I'm still to this day searching for pictures of him.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is those 2 brothers from his first marriage. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
My dad was married and had 2 sons, and he had an affair with my mom, got her pregnant, she had me.
Yep.
And then gave me up for adoption.
And now
that makes sense, right?
You have these 2 brothers.
So yes.
Yeah.
But they're both dead.
Half brothers.
Half brothers. One died when he was 45, and the other one died when he was 49.
Can you stop it?
Yeah. It was a trip.
What happened?
And heart stuff. Like I have to eat kale and shit. You know what I mean? But my one brother, I just found out recently.
Take the pork out of the burgers.
Take the pork out of the but I'll still have the cigarette. So my one brother worked for DC Comics.
Okay.
He worked for DC Comics and Marvel Comics, and he was in charge of a department in the animation department for when they're making cartoons about bringing characters of color on screen, on the small screen in animation. Yeah, that's what he did. He lived here. He lived here. He died in 2011, but he lived here in LA and worked for both DC Comics and Marvel Comics at different points in time in his career.
What
Isn't that amazing?
His name was Blade.
His name, Blade. Strangely enough, his last name, Trinity.
Middle name? Django.
Django.
Django is not a comic book character.
But should be though.
But should be.
But anyway,
I read it.
yeah. So those are my parents.